Hey, what's up guys? Phoenix here. This video is going to be another YGOpro duel video, and this time we're playing with a little bit of a unique deck. This is Darklord Domain Monarchs. DDM. Darklord Domain Monarchs. And this is a deck list that was sent in by one of my friends, actually. One of my friends actually told me that he was testing something that looked like this and gave me the list and said, why don't you play this for your channel? I was like, okay, this seems rather interesting, and I played a few games with it, and I actually really liked it. It doesn't look like it would be too powerful on paper, but it is still Domain Monarchs at the end of the day, and the Darklord engine itself just adds a whole new layer of depth of how this deck can function now, because you have actually a draw engine in the form of Ixchel. You have your you have different ways to bypass your normal summon, which is actually very key. It was one of the reasons why the BA Monarch deck before Nationals had a little bit of success, was because it was just another engine that you could supplement into the deck to increase consistency, as well as increase power plays, as well as decrease your reliance on the normal summon. But there's no extra deck, as you see, because it is Domain Monarchs, and you're just using the Darklord cards to generate advantage and turbo you into your Monarch cards. Set up Domain with defenses in the form of like Darklord Rebellion, things like that. There's multiple different facades to how this deck functions and operates, and it's very much a completely different beast from like how your turn structures can be handled. Much more than just like normal summoning a Monarch twice. Like you can normal summon 2 Monarchs a turn, but then you can also just like summon 3 to 4 Darklords. Like it's absolutely insane some of the turn structures you have with this deck, but I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this. This video is a replay form, again, post-duel commentary, because it's finals week for all the people that I record with, and I'm also in school, but my finals are not until a little bit later because of the way my semester structure is functioning. But it's very hard for me to get them on to do a lot of like long, strenuous games. So I had to find somebody that actually, plays a little bit slower, in the form of me just playing with somebody that plays a little bit slower, so it makes for really long videos, but it makes for quick replay videos. So I figured I would go to this for a little while, just so I didn't have to be stressed out with working with their schedules, and they didn't have to feel obligated to work with me. But anyway, that's enough for this section of the video. Let us just jump straight into the first game, shall we? Let's just play some Yu-Gi-Ohs. Alright, so going into the first game, I get to start playing the Monarch deck, which is very much in my favor, and I open a pretty decent hand with Ixchel, Superbia, trade-ins, and stuff like that, and then eventually just draw into a 1-for-1 off of my trade-in. And the 1-for-1 gets responded to with a Max C, which is a bit unfortunate, but I still get to resolve 2 tribute summons this turn. So I summon Karaz, pop 2 cards to draw 2, draw into a big Monarch in the form of Aether, and then summon it, and summon an Erebus that gets bounced to my hand. So I'm back at 5 cards. But my opponent is up some cards, and the only real way he's going to be playing, even with those extra cards, is if he has an out to Domain. Now, the list that he's playing is Elvis Vu's list that got first place at YCS Anaheim a week or so back, and so it is maining double Dark Hole and double Twin Twister, so it definitely does have outs to Domain, and it is basically considered a top-tier deck. But he opens very well, especially after the Max C, being able to Dark Hole my board, being able to do Brilliant Fusion, being able to make 3 rank 4s in the form of Tsukiyomi, Castel, and then Rhapsody, and then making ABC Dragon Buster to attack for exact game. I didn't summon my Prime Monarch because, 1, I didn't have another spell engrave, but also it just would have been banished off ABC Dragon Buster. It wouldn't have mattered. But going into the second game, I get to start again because I lost. Haha, fancy that. But I open Tenacity, which can search Pantheism, which means I open Pantheism Prime, draw into more cards. I have a Domain play with the Prime, and I'm able to Erebus a card out of his hand and Domain him, as well as search for Aether and have Stormforth in hand. It's a very, very strong opening. I've got Aether, Stormforth, Domain, so even if he Dark Holes me, I could flip the Monarch Stormforth, summon Prime, and then just Aether him on whatever monster he summons. Like it's very, very effective for me in this game state. And now there's not very many Darklord cards happening, but that's just because I drew more of my Monarch engine. The Darklord engine is used to power yourself into the Monarch engine when you are missing pieces, but able to resolve a Karaz here to draw cards, as well as getting to search for an Erebus. I draw into an Ixchel, which I have another Darklord in hand I can use, and it just snowballs from here. Me being able to summon Ixchel from grave off altar, which I can then do again for the other Darklord I just discarded for Ixchel, and then also being able to just summon my idea and just get my tribute summon for Erebus going. I'm just able to plow through his board, all while having Domain active, so that he can't effectively play his deck unless he draws literally 1 of 4 cards. That's one of the unfair things about Floodgates, which is what I hate about Floodgates, but I mean, this is still just something that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh, so you kind of have to deal with it. But so he's trying to float his way into surviving, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. This is a board of 5 very, very large monsters, as well as the fact that I'm continually going on my turn, and I can also just follow it up with another Erebus summon. Like, my resource pool is essentially infinite to clear his board at this point, and so it's just very easy for me to do so and just attack for the game. Not very much that can just happen there. There's a big problem with floodgates in Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is definitely exemplifying it to the T. But going into the third game, because I won the last game, I'm going second. But my opponent actually opened very, very subpar. He just sets a monster, sets a back row, and passes. Now he does have like Dark Hole in his hand, so he can out the domain that I establish if he draws into a playable hand. And there's not really a big threat of me killing him this turn, even though I do have a heightened ceiling with the Darklord cards. It is still very hard to just kill people through 8,000 without like just having the absolute god broken hand. But so he Dark Holes my board after I domain him by summoning Kuraz to start to get my engine going, because I didn't have a very optimal hand either. And then he Dark Holes me, he Tsukiyomi's into another Dark Hole, so he's got another out for domain, and ultimately he's just gonna try and do things that he can do. But so I Stormforth, and I tribute his Tsukiyomi for my Erebus that I've lowered off domain. He brings back his Trick Clown. I use Erebus to put my Pantheism in grave and spin his ABC monster. And then I'm just able to go off from here. I'm able to banish my Eidos, summon Idea from grave, special the Eidos, get a second tribute summon for another Erebus, which allows me to clear another card. Now this doesn't answer the Dark Hole that he has in his hand, because the Erebus hitting a random card out of his hand does not do anything to the situation. Now his set in this scenario I think ended up being Dimension Barrier, which is absolutely dead against this deck. 100%. There's no way for you to do anything with that card, because it doesn't stop tribute summons and I use no other mechanics. So it's very much a dead card in this matchup. But he draws to Twin Twister and he just Dark Holes my board, but he has no follow-up play because I hit the A out of his hand off the Erebus. So it's very much not a game that he can play, and now I'm just going to be snowballing advantage with all of my plays going Alter into Superbia into Ixchel, and then using Ixchel to copy Alter to summon, I think it's Maston. I can't remember which one that is. I know I play one of each of like Naston and Maston, I think. I can't remember their exact names, unfortunately. I just know the two main ones, which are Superbia and Ixchel, and then the spells and traps. But it's another one of the ones that copies the field effect, so that's all that's relevant. But I just basically to end the game here because of the fact that he didn't get to play after he outed my domain for a second time. So going into the fourth game, he gets to start because he lost that game. There's 5 games in this video. I guess I didn't say that beforehand, but I mean, you probably figured that out by now. But he opens with Brilliant Fusion, getting Trick Clown back, and it's actually a really strong opening. His Brilliant Fusion, Hanger, and Gadget, which is very, very strong. So he's able to go into Tsukiyomi. He still has a normal summon left, and he draws cards and flips Terraforming, so that he has a card in hand for Twin Twister they set, as well as having a card in hand for Buster. And then he's able to have the floating Gadget as well as ABC Dragon Buster, and it's a really strong situation, especially with the Solemn Strike that he drew and set. So I summon my Idea, it gets striked, and I try to do Darklord plays. And as soon as my Ixchel is summoned, he tries to ABC Dragon Buster, banish it, but I chain its effect to get a Surge off Banishment, so I can get another Superbia and use the trade-in. I think that's what just happened. I'm not sure. Either that or I searched the Ixchel. I can't remember exactly. I don't think I searched the Ixchel. I think there's no reason for me to have done that. But I may have, just so I could have drawn more Darklord cards. But at this point, this replay is a bit sour because I flipped the Altar immediately with the Ixchel in hand, forgetting that the first Ixchel actually got banished, so I summoned Superbia, and I lose. Because I'm just like, I can't do anything else. I was going to summon the Aether off of the 2 that I tribute, which was going to be Superbia Ixchel, but I just forgot about it. But going into the last game, I'm able to start with a Darklord play, a rather strong one, but ultimately my hand isn't that well equipped for anything else. Now, if that second Ixchel in my hand had been something like a Monarch card, then I would have easily been able to search Pantheism and go Pantheism Prime and have a really strong opener, as well as the fact that I had Idea. Like, there's a bunch that I could have done there, but he starts his turn with a Dark Hole, and tries to activate Union Hanger, and I use my Darklord Rebellion to banish his Union Hanger on activation so it doesn't resolve, he doesn't get to add, and so all he has now is a Gadget and Emptiness. And now he's doing a bit of fast playing here because, I mean, we've been here for a while at this point, and so he accidentally attacks before he activates Union Hanger, and that's actually very relevant. I would not have won this game had he activated it first because I would have been on too much of a clock, because he would have hit me for 1900 more damage a turn earlier, which you're going to see very quickly why that becomes relevant. But I set Idea, and I try not to die. Basically, I have to draw Eidos alongside the Monarch that I have in my hand. So It's not very ideal, but I draw Erebus and I Pantheism into Eidos, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This outs the board. I'm just gonna start spinning his monsters. I could spin his Emptiness. I could just do anything, but my Eidos gets striked, which is actually just as good because it outs the Emptiness and he's lower in life. And look, as you can see, I'm at 200. So if he had normal summon that A the turn prior and attacked me with it instead of misplaying and just going straight into a battle phase with the Silver Gadget, this game would have been over. I would have lost. But I'm able to just resolve a ton of effects after that Emptiness is gone. I'm able to resolve multiple contracts, or not contracts, alter. I'm so used to different card names from like DDD and things like that. But I'm able to summon multiple Darklords by even summoning like the double discard one out of hand. Maston, I think his name is, that you discard 2 Darklords to summon. I'm able to summon that out of hand just because I have so many different cards, and I'm able to just push back and establish a domain lock on him. So he's got a few cards to his name, but ultimately I still just have so many things as well as domain that because he made that misplay of not searching and summoning first before he attacked that turn, I just take the game back because of the fact that I'm just able to just go way too deep and way too far for him to handle. Like, it's very much a testament to like taking your time, but this person does play very slow and he wanted to get done and go, so that little bit of fast play is kind of justifiable. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments down below, and let me know what your thoughts are and all that sort of nonsense. Let me know if you like this deck concept, or if you want to see more of it, all that sort of nonsense. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, as I've already said. But other than that, thank you for watching. Thanks for your time as usual. Let me know what you guys think about the replay videos, the post-duel commentary videos that like is this style, because I could easily see myself doing more of these if I get more comfortable with them, things like that, things of that nature, because the biggest thing that keeps me from doing it is, even though they're much more clean, it's that I'm not very comfortable doing it. I'm not very comfortable articulating my thoughts into a manner that's that quick, but if I'm just really chill about it, then I could see myself doing it a bit more in the future if I'm not trying to hit every single detail. But other than that, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But thank you for watching, as I've already said. Thanks for your time as usual. Let me know what you guys think again in the comments down below. Leave a like if you like my content and want to support the channel. And other than that, I will see you in the next video, guys. As always, take care.